Hey there, it's your girlfriend Nikki Nokes. I'm the author of Maybe It's You, Stop Wondering Why You're Single, Girlfriend, and read this book. So this is episode number 18, and I've been getting a lot of questions and comments about one topic in particular. A lot of people are asking me about their exes. And the X-Files, wow, it's a chapter that we've got to close in our lives to move on to the person that is actually right for us. It's going to help us grow, but it's that lingering connection to that ex that keeps us in the past and keeps us wondering what if and all of that stuff that is a distraction. It's a distraction. So I wanted to talk about this specifically in this episode and try to keep it under 4 minutes, but it's going to be a little difficult because there's a lot to talk about. And the number one thing for me, at least with the ex that I have, that I am guilty of doing the exact same thing with, is that person probably treated you the best of all the people that you've ever dated. They probably did what you needed to be done for you in a relationship. And I know for me, with my ex, he was the first guy that really took care of me. He really, when we were in town together, we had kind of a long distance relationship, he'd ask me, okay, what do you want to eat? And I'd say Chinese food. And he'd pick the best Chinese restaurant literally in the city that we were in. And it was DC at the time. And he would literally find the best Chinese restaurant in DC. If all I had to do is say I wanted Chinese food. Or, he flew to a different state to go get my car and drive it back for me. He taught me how to do some of the things as a writer that I've always wanted to learn how to do. And he took the time and showed me. It was so much that he contributed that I felt like, this is the most complete a relationship could be for me. And whatever that is that your ex did for you, I'm sure it's something similar where you in that situation felt complete and you were getting everything you needed. But you know what? At some point, if they're your ex, they stopped. If they're not with you, they're not still taking care of you. Whether you broke up with them because things weren't going well anymore, or they stopped wanting to be with you because they no longer wanted to for whatever reason, maybe they just wanted to move on, whatever it is, that treatment at some point stopped if they're your ex. You have to realize that. So what you were attached to doesn't exist anymore. But here's the problem. I think we probably all realize that, but because that was the only person that gave us that experience, or they did it better than anybody else, we attach that experience to the ex. Instead of separating the experience out from the person and think that, okay, we think other people could give us that experience, we attach that experience to the person and we're pining after that person, when in reality we're just pining after that experience. It's not the person we want back, it's the experience we want back. And I use the analogy of a well, right? So you go to a well, you find a well, and the well gives you water. You need water for nourishment, you're thirsty. It's something that if you don't have it, you'll die, right? So you find a well. The well is giving you water. Every time you go to the well gives you water. Then one day you go to the well and it's empty. So do you keep going to the well? Well, yeah, because every time before it had been giving water, so maybe it's just an off day. But after a little while, going back to that well, it's still dry. You know what? You could either basically die of thirst because you won't go try to find another source of water, which is what you really need, not the well, you need the water. Or you could go and continue to look around and realize that, you know what? You need water. It's not the well is not the only place you can get water. In fact, you could go to 7-Eleven and get a bottle of water. There's an abundance of experiences from other people, and maybe not every person will do it as perfectly as your ex, but you've got to realize that your ex is no longer that person either. They're not doing it either. So you can keep going back to that well that's gone dry and die of thirst, or you can look for another source of water, which is the experience that you need. And what I did that worked for me is I started to make a list of the things that my ex did that I enjoyed so much, that created that experience for me. And I focused just on that list, and it started to allow me to separate the person from the experience. And so now it's very clear for me what the experience is that I want. And it's not necessarily attached to the person, because he's not providing it anymore. So hopefully somebody else will, and at least now I know what I want. So, and knowing what you want is very important. That is a topic in my book. And if you haven't gotten my book yet, maybe it's you. A lot of these issues and topics are covered in the book. You really should pick it up. It's on Amazon and it's at nikkinoks.com. There's a free excerpt as well, which is also helpful. You should read that too. That's at nikkinoks.com as well. Thank you so much. And to you ladies, I'm saying to you as always, as your girlfriend, Nikki Nokes, if you're single, have you ever considered that maybe it's you? I'll catch you next time. Bye.